woman was declared unalived, completely burned. I've seen the report. Scorched beyond recognition, organs missing, no chance of survival. And yet, the nurses in that hospital recorded a different story. At 2:43 a.m. he moves. First a twitch, then he sits up. Moments later he's on his feet, walking, limping, but alive. He even kicks his hospital bed, as if testing his own strength. Doctors were stunned. They whispered, terminal lucidity, a rare burst of awareness before crossing over. But that usually comes before someone passes, not after they've been declared clinically unalived. And not like this. Security footage shows him staggering toward the door. He almost makes it, then collapses, and this time he stays down. A man standing in an empty room in the dark, staring at a doll as if he senses some bad omen, and then you hear it. The voice of a woman laughing as if something was funny. He notices the silhouette of a person behind the doll touching the doll's head, but as he got closer, the shadow slowly disappeared, back to where it came from, into the darkness. Now, given that the room was so dark and the camera quality was not the best, it could have been a person impersonating a ghost, and as the cameraman got closer, they snuck into the left angle of the camera where we couldn't see. You be the judge. Juan and Nicole Swanee, a married couple from a quiet neighborhood, no different from the thousands I've investigated before. But what happened inside their living room was anything but ordinary. Started small, barely a whisper. Toys shifting when no one was near. A stuffed bear repositioning itself across the couch. They dismissed it as coincidence. Stress maybe. Poor sleep. Then the shadows came. Faint outlines that darted along the walls like they were watching. Waiting. Testing boundaries. One night, while watching a horror movie with a friend, the line between fiction and reality shattered. Security footage from that evening still chills me. A shadow-like figure slipped behind the sofa. Silent, deliberate, and fast. Then came the violence. Cabinets flew open. Decorations crashed to the floor. The room came alive in a fit of unseen rage.
Yo no aguanto un día, me hace que
Uy, no.
yo no aguanto un día.
Pero, uy, ¿sí ves la luz que pasa
Mira,
por ahí?
ahí, la puerta de alguien como la tenía trancada. No puede-
Mira, siempre, uy, ¿sí ves?
Sí.
Ahí pasa.
El susto, ¿sí ves lo que pasó en el susto?
Mira.
Uy, está el cuadro, Dios mío santo. Oye, pero ¿por qué se cayó todo?
No sé, ahí nosotros nos fuimos, nosotros no nos íbamos a quedar ahí.
Mira lo que pasó ahí, Mira eso.
Cerraron la puerta. No sé si hay algo o alguien que nos está haciendo asustar, pero te lo juro que yo ya no aguanto.
Estábamos solos en la casa, pero yo-
Mira, ahí está la...
They fled, but the entity didn't stop. There's no backstory, no history of anyone passing on the property, no curses, just the evidence.
La sangre de Cristo tiene poder.
Mira la maleta, mira cómo la van arrastrando. Mira
¿Qué
cómo
no
se la van
oraron?
arrastrando.
¿Por qué no se pusieron a orar?
Cambiémonos de casa.
Tienen que
No,
orar.
es que eso ya...
No, eso de ley, eso de ley. Uy, pero ese peluche, Dios mío.
Mira, como que lo están jalando, ¿sí ves?
Es como que se para de cabeza,
Ese
¿qué?
es el peluche que te regaló Juan, que tú dañaste.
Mira, ¿sí viste lo que pasó aquí?
The questions it leaves behind. Why them? Because that's not the first time that had happened to them. They even moved out of their home before because of paranormal activities, which is probably why it felt so personal, because the entity knows them. I've seen a lot. Spirits that lurk, shadows that stalk, but this one doesn't want to be seen. It wants to be remembered. A woman named Meg Wolfgang posted a video on Facebook. The video was filmed sometime around 2008, maybe 2009. Meg had been playing with her kittens, just recording the moment for fun. She didn't notice anything unusual at the time, but years later, when she replayed the video, something stared back. A small dresser appears in the frame. is barely half an inch off the ground, just enough space for air, and yet from underneath it reaches out. A shape, a hand maybe, grabs the kitten's toy and pulls it back under. That alone would be unsettling, but there's more. If you turn the volume up, right as the object disappears, there's a faint whisper. One word, leave. Meg swears she didn't hear it then, didn't see it either. Only the camera did. Some say it's a shadow, some say a hoax, but to Meg, and to those who've seen this sort of thing before, you may have a different opinion.